Bonjour. Do I look like I'm about to go to work? Well, welcome back to this Find Your Inner French Girl, How to Love You and Your Life next episode, where we're talking about, le travail, work. Now, we're going to this week talk about work, and then on Monday, I'm going to be talking about le loisir, which is leisure. And we're going to get an idea of how they sort of naturally and why they naturally can balance the two. So let's start off. I'm going to read you a little bit from the book, and then I'm going to give my own perspective and, of course, experiences. All right, let's dive in. When you do business in France, leave your time management seminars, your one-minute managers, your productivity workshops, and your ideas about dressing for success behind. Keep your work ethic if you like, but don't expect anyone else to be pulling all-nighters or admiring your multitasking skills. Think about pursuing that midlife career change, but keep it to yourself. And if you want a successful business lunch, put aside at least 2 hours for schmoozing over wine, several courses, and a dessert, bien sûr. French life revolves more around security and leisure than the pursuit of the next big thing, be it a new career or a new entrepreneurial endeavor. The government supports a system that gives workers an enviable amount of job security, generously subsidizes cultural pursuits, pays its intellectuals to be, well, intellectuals, and grants its citizens a luxurious number of paid vacation days, all of which means that when push comes to shove in the world of work and play, we Anglo-Saxons might know how to make a living, but the French girl knows how to have a life. Ooh. The lack of a workaholic culture with all of its inherent dis-ease takes the peculiar Anglo-Saxon strain out of the workplace and frees the French girl to have a more sanely irreverent relationship to her work life. The results are apparent in a myriad of small but pervasive details. Unless she's about to enter the operating room to do brain surgery, she'll leave work behind for meals. And she certainly won't carry on a business conversation on her mobile during her meal. No. The French girl's work ethic is more Latin, and her time flows around the banks and shoals of what is personally relevant. In fact, time management barely exists as an actual term in her language. Ditto for the word multitasking. When I tried to explain the term multitasking, my French girlfriend Audrey scoffed and said, "Multi what? What's the point? Why in the world would you want to be all things to all people and do it all at once?" There is little place in the French way of life for the implications of multitasking or the furious list-making, overachieving, running behind the 8 ball that characterizes American life. To the harried rush for climbing the next rung, many French shrug with that classic air of nonchalance and disdain. Life is too bloody short, they seem to be saying. The French girl honors time. She gives everything in her life its natural due, whether it's work or her family or her interests, which is why when it comes to work, there's a natural balance in her life. You'll see the French girl working on the metro, her slim leather backpack against a dark wool jacket, looking composed and pensive. She's walking briskly down a cobblestone street with her satchel thrown over her shoulder on her way to a business meeting. She's immersed in a book during a cafe lunch break. She's busy but not bedraggled. She doesn't seem harried. She's got a full load, a job, maybe a child or two, a husband, the works. But she still manages to come home, make a pit stop at her local shop, enjoy a drink, make and have dinner en famille, with family, and miraculously, it all seems to fall into place. So how does she do it? Okay, this is where my personal experience comes into play. So let me tell you something. It all sounds like everything is perfect, and I'll just take these off for now, and that the French woman is never stressed. And I have to say that that is false. When I lived with my French family, one of the very reasons that they had me come to live with them was because the mother was working. She worked long hours, and so did the husband, and so they needed someone to pick up the kids from school and make sure that they were okay. And I also taught at the local school there. But she was busy. But the thing that was always there and ever present was the commitment she had when she walked in that door. She would have already thought about what the dinner was. She'd come home, she'd change, she would put on some nice music, and she would cook, and it was just so relaxed. There was no rushing around, have the kids done this, have the kids done this? No, in the evenings it was just so smooth. We had this evening routine that was just a ritual every night. Sat down, ate together, chatted, had our little ritual of what we would have every night for dessert, and the baguette and the cheese. And then we would put the kids to bed and move to le salon, and she would move her chair up to her husband, and they would sit holding hands and giggle all night watching all kinds of shows that they loved watching. So they also had things that they put in that I'm going to save till next week, because it's more about le loisir, which is leisurely activities. The thing I want to say is, yes, there's work, and yes, there's a lot on a French woman's plate, just as any woman. The thing is that underneath, there is not this pervasive push culture that we have to be more, do more, get on to the next big thing, you know, go bigger, don't play small. No, you can be a very successful woman, but it doesn't have to have this urgency, this stress, this to-do list, this pressure. That is something that I feel is almost a badge of honor, a martyrdom that a lot of us North American and Anglo-Saxon women put on ourselves. It is self-inflicted. The busier we are, the more we're doing, the more multitasking we have to do. It makes us feel like who we are and what we do is valuable. When in reality, the French girl, the French woman, already knows that she is of value. She's not trying to prove it to anybody, not to herself, and not to anybody, not the world, not her girlfriends, not to her husband, nobody. And so what I would say is that your elegant assignment is easy and sometimes not, well, it's simple, but it's not always easy. This is something that I have personally had to work on and have deepened this lesson, let me tell you, over time, of giving myself permission to envision the type of ideal life that I would like, and then giving myself the permission slip to live that without guilt. I have always loved to use my natural talents and abilities and to go out there and use them to serve. And I have liked to earn my own money doing that. I have gone through various times, single, with a partner, married, without kids, and then married with kids. I've gone through many different stages. And what I found was, when I was married and I had kids and I was going and trying to create a business, I was in such self-proving mode that My kids were always being told, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. Mommy's doing something, mommy's doing something. Or my husband, yeah, I'm coming. I've got work to do. Don't you understand? At night, because I was taking clients from different time zones and always working at night. I just was trying to prove something to myself that I was good enough. I was trying to, I'm going to be very open and honest and say I was unconsciously trying to prove to my father that I could be a success at something. I was trying to prove to my husband that I could do something that he didn't think would work. I mean, I was just proving. And in the end, the thing that was supposed to bring me joy and pleasure was actually stressing me out. And it really sent me down in a bad spiral. So I'm going to say again, your elegant assignment is to very much, like, if you never had to earn another cent, what would your heart be wanting to do? How would you want your life to look and feel like? And then give yourself permission to have that life, because nobody else can give you that permission. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and have a little Etsy store or a great Etsy store, that's who you are. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur who actually doesn't really want to get married but would love to have a partner, do that. I mean, there are so many options. You just have to give yourself permission for wanting it. There's no right and there's no wrong. But the inner French girl in you knows that what you do cannot just define who you are. There's so much more to living and life than proving and trying to achieve. We were not made to just achieve. This goes 100% opposite from anything that the inner French girl is about. Yes, you can achieve, but you are not just created to be here to achieve. You are here to expand all the beautiful traits of the divine, and one of them is beauty and kindness and compassion and love and connection, and all of those things are not happening when you're in your little office only trying to focus on achieving, okay? So, I will see you on Monday where we talk about le loisir, and this is sort of, we're gonna bring together, how do you combine work and pleasure, leisure? Okay, work and play, let's just say it that way. I will see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend and really spend some time focusing on this. Mwah. See you next time.